going on? Thanks for showing up again. So today we're going to go over items that are needed to actually brew beer. I have a small list of items that I think is necessary. Then I have some items that I think are optional, but actually could probably make the overall brew day easier. And depending on the kind of money you have, or if you just have to have everything with all the bells and whistles, these are items that actually might make it a little bit more exciting. So stick with me, and here in a few seconds we'll get to that list and we'll start going over that. So here we are, we got the list. And these items are actually what I feel is necessary, and also the items I think are actually optimal and actually can make your day easier. If you got a little bit extra money to spend, you know, pick them up. So, first one is going to be the mash tun. It's actually the item that you're going to put the strike water and the grains and let it steep for about a process of 45 minutes to an hour or so. And we're going to get the sugars converted out of those grains, which is going to become the wort. The second item is going to be the sparge kettle. Sparge kettle is also used to make the strike water. Usually strike water is the water initially put into the mash tun that you add the grains to. And the sparge water is actually the water that you rinse the grains with to get all those extra sugars out for the wort. The third item is the actual boil kettle. This one is going to probably cost you some money depending on which way you go. If you go aluminum, it's probably going to be a little cheaper. If you go stainless steel, it's going to cost you a little bit. And then depending on the size that you're trying to do, it's all going to play a factor. So this one's going to probably be the most costly item of all. Next item is a thermometer. You can pick up a thermometer, but we need to know where our temps are in our mash tun. Also, as far as where the wort is sitting, so when we get ready to pitch the yeast. So it's a very important item. Not very costly, but we still need a thermometer. The next one I do believe is pH strips. You can make beer without knowing where your pH is as far as in the mash tun, but they say if you have kind of a ballpark area where the pH is sitting, you can adjust it and you can get a better conversion out of those grains to actually release more sugars and overall better process for overall wort, more proficiency. Additives for the pH, ups, downs, things that are needed to adjust those items. And we'll get into that a little bit more depending if you're going to mess with the pH or not. Burner. Probably the second most expensive item that you're going to spend. Probably going to want a good burner that's putting out some BTUs. More BTUs, the faster the wort comes up to a boil, you get your strike water ready, so on and so on. Low BTUs, you're going to be waiting a while to get, 5 gallons, 8 gallons, or however many gallons you're trying to boil up to a boil, and that could take a while. So, this is probably going to be the second most costly. I would probably recommend trying to get as most bang for your buck that you can afford. The optional equipment, chiller. We're going to need a chiller. You don't have to have one. You can sit there and wait for that boiling water to come down, but they say the fastest you can get it down and get it actually into the fermentator and actually keep everything sanitized without getting things in it, less likely you're actually having any kind of bacteria and stuff getting into it. So you want to get that wort down as fast as quick as possible, and then get that yeast pitched, and then get into the fermentator, get it all buttoned up, and then you're good to go. Refractometer, that just tells you where you are as far as on your overall alcohol content, but you can probably get by with a hydrometer. I think that's what we call a hydrothermometer. I think it's actually what it is. A lot cheaper. pH meter, also if you got some money to spend, you just don't like using little strips, and you just want to dip it and it tells you exactly where you are, go for it if you got the money to spend. Grain mill, definitely something if you're going to start brewing more often to customize, get your crush right on your grains. It's supposed to help with your proficiency. The right course releases that grains, sugars in it easier, and just overall you have a little bit more control. I might pick up one someday. Scale, everybody needs a scale so you can tell how many ounces or grams or whatever you're working with as far as hops additions and other items and things like that. And then we have what is called the other stuff. Other stuff is going to be your sanitizer, bottling buckets and stuff like that, depending on which way you go. But there's a lot more little things there. I just didn't want to list them all right now. I just wanted to try to make this video short and simple and just go over the items that I thought is necessary. And then I'll start overall as I pick up my mash tun, go over that, and we'll knock this list out and get ready for brew day. I appreciate you showing up. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, go ahead, thumb it down. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. You know, subscribe, like, share. You know, the usual routine out there. If you wonder how easy this is gonna be, let's see. Stick around. Appreciate you tuning in. And like always, keep brewing. And I'll see you next time on Who's Your Homebrew. Thanks.